Hello and welcome back. Susan Zumo here, intuitive and originator of soul patterning harmonics. Well, this week, the Galactics and my higher self had a little lesson for me before they gave me the message, which is a call to action. First, they started talking to me about frequency and consciousness and the co-creation of our world. And I kind of said, yeah, okay, I know that. And they went on anyway. And I have to say that I usually think of my higher as a singular energy or a singular entity. And my higher is starting to feel more like a collective. Each time I connect with her, him, it, they, whatever you want to say. But I don't know, we'll go into that later. Just something I wanted to comment on. Anyway, they said frequency equals consciousness. Frequency creates consciousness. And consciousness is influenced by frequency. So we know this, right? I tend to think of myself as an individual perceiving my experience as I co-create the world around me with the rest of mankind. So in one respect, I have control over my own frequency and my own perception of events. And on the other hand, I contribute to creation with all of those around me. And so I like to think of myself as pulling in those of same frequency or harmonious frequency and like-minded individuals. So when I asked them about call to action, I was kind of excited because I'm a person who likes action. I like to do things. And while we are still co-creating in third dimension and fourth dimension or density, action is very attractive to me. And so I said, well, what do you want me to do, right? What are we going to do? Give me something to do. That'll make me so happy. And they went, yeah, not so fast. Action is not always physical movement, although it can be. What they said was, we have gotten too accustomed to being isolated and being individualized without contact with others in a meaningful way. This is a byproduct of the lockdowns that we experienced some years ago, and we are starting to break out of it. And the call to action is to really step forward out of that frequency of isolation, of loneliness, of separation and divisiveness, which is what keeps those in power in control. And so how do we do that? Well, the first thing we have to do is recognize our comfortability. We are still, and I am too, very comfortable with being in my own space, being by myself, and not really contacting anyone outside of my work or these videos. And truthfully, I work off-site at home, so I have very little human contact outside of that. Now, I connect with you all every week, and that's phenomenal because that's my way of reaching out and building community and making contact. But they wanted me to take this a step farther. They said, we are issuing a call to action and soliciting volunteers to come out of their isolated shells and connect with others. And so how are we to do that? What kind of connection are we to make? Well, for some of us, it may mean going out and talking to that neighbor, checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, learning something about them. For others, it may mean connecting in with their community. And there's volunteer work. It may mean connecting with the people that you talk to every day. It doesn't necessarily have to mean getting up and going out. It can mean connecting in other ways that are meaningful. And that may be building a community online or building a group, that meets every once in a while, or helping someone nearby. What really is important about this call to action is that kindness is involved. And they were very, very stressful, adamant is the better word, that kindness is what needed to fuel this, that our actions needed to take place from a place of kindness, because it really will benefit others. Others are isolated and feeling a depressed frequency, a lowered frequency as a result of this isolation. Whether they realize it or not, if you are comfortable with being isolated and disconnected, that's a depressed frequency. And I don't mean depression in the psychological sense, although it can actually play into that or lead to that over a long period of time. People need to know that they are appreciated. People need random acts of kindness. And that can be anything. And so they really wanted me to talk about how we can take action with kindness. And so some of the examples were, again, when you're at the grocery store, look the person in the eye and thank them for helping you in whatever it is that they're doing. Even if you're having groceries delivered to your home, look that person in the eye and sincerely thank them. Find something to appreciate the people that you come into contact in your life. It can be their smile. It can be their look. It can be their energy. Reach out to people that you have not had contact with before, that you still want to have contact with, right? And give them a kind word. Let them know how much you love them or how much you appreciate them. We've touched upon this briefly in other videos, but they really wanted to expand on this. If we want to shift the earth and we want to move forward in a spiritual direction, which is what we call the Ascension, we are going to have to ramp up our kindness and expand from our hearts to everyone around us. If it's someone in your life or that was in your life that you necessarily don't want to have a lot of contact with, then send a card anonymously. Have someone mail it from another zip code. Whatever it is that you can do to extend kindness, it will be received by the other person. And it's important for them to receive it, just as important as it is for us to send it. We have been sitting around too long, contained within our own little bubble. It is time for us to take action. And of course, we had to sit in our own little bubble and bring our frequency to a certain level before we could take action. But what I'm hearing and what they're telling me is that we are there now. And so I appreciated their little lesson in seeding appreciation and getting that frequency out onto the planet so that it can leap an octave and take the rest of humanity with us. We are the forerunners. Those of you watching these videos, the people that I work with, we are the pioneers. We are the seeders. We are the Johnny Appleseeds of spiritual growth and spiritual expansion on this planet. And it is our task that we have volunteered for to seed the planet with heart energy from a place of kindness. That's our task for this week. And so while we are being kind to others, we want to remember to replenish our own well and be kind to ourselves as well. This is going to be a wonderful task because what will come back will be absolutely phenomenal. And though that's not the reason that we do it, it is still a benefit of what we do. It is a call to service. It is a call to kindness. It is a call to action. And it is something that is well within our reach and easily accomplished. All we have to do is place our awareness on it and have the intent to give a kind word, a kind look, a kind gesture to someone else. They said, if you can only do it once a week, that's good. If you can do it every day, that's better. And so that's the message for this week. Go out and be kind to one another. They thought that was pretty good. Go out and be kind to one another. So I just want to say that I appreciate everybody watching these videos. I appreciate you sharing them. I love the comments. I'm so glad that they're helping people. If you are interested in joining my community, we have a Higher Consciousness Café on the first Monday of every month. It is from 5:30 to 7:30 Mountain Time, and it is free and open to everyone who is interested in growing spiritually and expanding their consciousness. All the details are below, and I hope to see some of you soon. Until then, many blessings.